Hello everyone, once again welcome to our physics class. Hope you all are fine over there. Children, we were discussing our second chapter, units and measurement. In the previous session we had discussed how to measure length. In fact, how to measure normal length, how to measure very small length, also how to measure very large length. Today we will discuss a similar topic. Today we will talk about the measurement of mass and time of different scales. So let's get started with today's session. Children, as discussed in our introductory video, let's discuss about measurement of mass and time. First we will discuss about measurement of mass. How will you measure mass of different objects of different scales? Okay, because in universe the range of masses vary from very large value to very small values. So should we adopt the same method to measure all these masses of different scales? No, it's not possible. So let's discuss in detail about all those things. Measurement of mass. On the screen you can see two pictures. Here, this one represents a common balance or a beam balance. You are familiar with this beam balance. You can see it in the grocery shops, in the jewelry shops. Okay, so in our daily life we come across this beam balance in many places. So why do we use this beam balance? Yes, usually the shopkeepers use this beam balance, or people use this beam balance or common balance to measure mass of objects, right? So to measure mass of objects in the normal scale, we will use this beam balance or common balance. And what do you mean by this mass? See, mass is a basic property of matter. It does not depend upon temperature, pressure or location of object in space. And do you know the SI unit of mass? The SI unit of mass is kilogram. Okay, so the mass of commonly available objects is measured using this beam balance or common balance. Then what about this device? Are you familiar with this device? I'm sure you won't be familiar with this device, and this device is known as mass spectrograph. Let me write the name for you. It is mass spectrograph. So in which situations do we use this mass spectrograph? We had already discussed the mass of commonly available objects is measured using this beam balance or common balance. But think about very small objects like atoms, molecules, electrons, etc. So can we use this beam balance or common balance to measure the mass of such subatomic particles? No, it's not possible. So in such cases, we can use this mass spectrograph. Okay, and in this mass spectrograph, the radius of the path of the particle is directly proportional to its mass. So if we are aiming to study the mass of an electron, just study the path of the electron using this instrument or device. Okay, and the path of the electron, the radius of the path of the electron is directly proportional to mass of the electron in mass spectrograph. Thus, using mass spectrograph, we can easily find out mass of such subatomic particles. In fact, we all know that the mass is expressed in kilogram. Kilogram is the standard unit of mass, right? But when we come in the case of, or when we come to the case of atoms or molecules or such subatomic particles, kilogram is not a common or convenient unit to express their mass. So in such cases, we go for another standard unit, which is known as atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit. It is also known as AMU or simply U. Okay. So atomic mass unit is used to express the mass of subatomic particles. And do you know what is 1 AMU or 1 U? 1 U or 1 AMU is 1 by 12 into mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. Okay, so this is 1 U or 1 AMU. 1 AMU is defined as 1 by 12 of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. Okay, so 1 AMU or 1 U is the convenient way to express mass of subatomic particles. Then, what if we want to measure the masses of large objects such as planets, stars, etc.? So, can we use beam balance or mass spectrograph for such cases? No, it's not possible. So, in such cases, we will calculate mass by gravitational method, which is based on the Newton's law of gravitation. Okay, so the mass of commonly available objects can be measured using beam balance. The mass of very smaller objects can be measured using mass spectrograph, and the mass of very large objects can be measured using gravitational method. So that's all about the measurement of mass. Okay, and what is the standard unit of mass? Standard unit of mass is kilogram. But in the case of subatomic particles, we will use another unit, which is 1 atomic mass unit, 1 AMU or just 1 U. And what is 1 AMU? It is defined as 1 by 12th of mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. Okay. Children, next let's discuss about measurement of time. So we all know the standard unit of time is second, right? So nowadays we use an atomic clock to measure time, and this atomic clock is also known as cesium clock. So why do we use the term cesium clock? That we can discuss in this session. So according to cesium clock or in a cesium clock, what is 1 second? 1 second is the time taken or the time needed for, see this number, children, in cesium clock, 1 second is the time needed for this much of vibrations to occur. Okay, and these vibrations correspond to the transition between different atomic levels or different levels of cesium atom. So just keep it in your mind. In cesium clock, 1 second is the time needed to complete this much of vibrations. Those vibrations correspond to the transition of electrons between different levels of cesium atom. Okay, and these atomic clocks are very, very accurate. And one such clock is there at the National Physical Laboratory, Delhi. Actually, this National Physical Laboratory, that is NPL, has the responsibility to maintain and improve physical standards of time, frequency, etc. And on the screen, you can see one picture, and this image shows a cesium clock. This is the figure of a cesium clock, or this is the image of a cesium clock. So cesium clock or atomic clock is very accurate to measure time. And in our universe, the span of time varies from a few milliseconds or microseconds or nanoseconds to large values. Okay, so there are some tables in your NCERT textbook that shows the variation of mass, variation of time, and variation of length in universe. Just go through that table. Okay, so that's all about measurement of time. With this, I am concluding my session. So that's all about measurement of time and measurement of mass. So there will be a YouTube video based on this topic. Please do watch that video, attend the test, and post me the answers quickly. We will meet in the next session. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.